All right, so you double click on your Pro Tools session and nothing happens. You're just staring at your desktop. The session is not opening. Do not panic. I'm going to show you what to do and how to fix it and why it happens so it won't happen again. So I see this happen with my students all the time, and it's not that Pro Tools is being buggy or the file is corrupted or something's wrong or something's broken. It's usually just because Pro Tools wasn't closed properly the last time they had their session open. And it's actually a sign of Pro Tools working properly because you see Pro Tools actually saves a window layout whenever you close a session out, whenever you save a session. So for example, I have Pro Tools open. I actually have a session open right now. It's doing the exact problem that we're talking about. I have opened my session and there's nothing here. You can see that Pro Tools is open, but my session is not. So I'm going to show you why this happens. So here's my session. Let's say I'm done working on it for the day. I'm ready to go. And your teacher probably told you to go File, Close Session. That's the proper way to close out a Pro Tools session. If you haven't saved yet, when you do this, it'll prompt you to save. So it's a really good idea to go File, Close Session or Pro Tools Quick Pro Tools Ultimate before you then back up a session, for example. But what I see students doing all the time is they will actually take this session and they'll hit this little red dot here in the corner of their session to close out the window. So they go, okay, I'm just going to close my session out. There, I'm good. I closed my session out. And they did not. You have not closed out your session if you've done this. And now what's going to happen is if someone else comes along to the same computer, so this is especially an issue if you're on a shared computer. So let's say they go to open up a session that they're working on. I'll show you really quickly. I'm going to just open up this example session, but a different version of it. So here's the session I have currently open. I'm just going to do an old version of it and hit open. It's going to ask me if I want to save the current session that's open. Because remember, I closed my windows, but I did not actually close out my session. So now it's asking me if I want to save this session. So if they're like, oh yeah, I'll be nice and I'll hit save, guess what? You just saved your session under that window layout with the windows closed out. And that's essentially all that's happening. So now let me go and I'll actually close out this session. And this is the right way to do it, right? Because it's prompting me to save. I hit save. Now I'm good. It should close my session out. So now when I go to open up my session, the one that got saved with the windows closed, depending on the version of Pro Tools I'm using, it may or may not open with an actual window open. So for example, if I go and open this up, I think because I have the most current version of Pro Tools, I think what's going to happen is it will have a window open for me. So let me just try it really quick. So here it is opening up my session. It should open up with a window. Yeah, so let's look. It just opens up with the edit window. So if I close out the edit window, there's no mix window here. So it'll either open up with just one window for you, or if you're in an older version of Pro Tools, it might open up with nothing and it'll just look like this and you'll be so frustrated and confused and you'll think that your session's not working. All right, so we're going to talk about the fix here in a second, but first of all, I just want to say that this video is sponsored by me. So if you don't want to deal with any of this and you'd rather collaborate with someone that is specialized in engineering and production, please feel free to go to my website. It's catonoise.com and you can hit the Get Started button and it's going to ask you a few questions about your music that gets sent directly to me. The answers get sent directly to me. And then you can book a call with me. It's a no obligation call. It's a Zoom call. And during that call, we can talk about your music and see if we might be a good fit for each other. So please feel free to do that. It's catonoise.com. You just click the Get Started button. If you'd rather just collaborate with someone that is specialized in this stuff, there is an advantage to doing that. A lot of big artists work with teams. So it's a lot of fun also to collaborate because things always come up for both sides, you know, that make things more interesting and help you learn and grow more. So check that out. And back to the video. So if you somehow end up in this world where your session is open, but there's no windows displaying, there's a couple ways you can fix it. So you can go to the window menu and then you can click mix and you can click edit. And now we have our two main windows back open. And the other thing you can do is you can do the shortcut to toggle between the mix and edit window, which will also make those windows display. So if you do command and then equals, it will open up edit and then mix. So I'm just doing command equals over and over. And now it's toggling between the two. So that's another way that you can open them back up. And then you just want to make sure that you save. So I'll do command S to save. You can do file save. You just want to make sure that you save it once you have the windows open. So doing that command equals or going to the window and opening up these two main windows in Pro Tools will restore us to that default window configuration that we all tend to know and love within Pro Tools. So make sure you do that. Make sure you hit save before you back up your session. So if you're going to now back up the session to a hard drive or to the cloud somewhere, you want to make sure that you have saved. So command S, and then you also want to make sure that you go file close session before you actually back up the session. And the reason for that is because it will prompt you to save if you haven't remembered to save. So then you know that you're backing up the most current version of your session if you make sure you go file close session before you back it up. That is my workflow. That's what I always do. I will not back up a session while it's open. It's just a good habit to have. And the other thing is that Pro Tools will make a whole bunch of folders within your session folder while the session is open. So for example, if I go to this folder for this session, you'll notice right now I have a video files folder, but there are no video files in this session. So when I then close this session, this folder is going to disappear. And there are some other folders that will open up while Pro Tools is going. And if you don't end up using them, if you don't put anything in them, they will disappear. So you're going to have like a bit of a cluttered backup if you don't close your session beforehand. You might have some of these additional folders that you don't really need, you know? So quick recap. 1, make sure that you close your session properly. So file and then close session, or Pro Tools, quit Pro Tools, and that'll make sure that you close your session properly. 2, you can manually reopen your windows if this does happen. So you can go window, mix and edit, or command equals to bring those back into play. And then 3 is you want to make sure that you save and close your session out properly before backing up your session so that you don't run into this problem more often and you don't have a cluttered backup. And if this video helped you save your session, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know in the comments below if it did not help save your session. Maybe I can make it a topic for another video, or I can help you out, help you troubleshoot within the comments. So that's about it. Again, if you would rather just collaborate with someone that's specialized in this, many very successful artists have a whole team surrounding them. So it is very common for successful artists to collaborate with an engineer, producer, someone who's specialized in different areas of the music industry. So if you'd rather do that, please feel free to check out my website. It's catonoise.com, and just click the Get Started button. You can fill out that form. You can schedule that call with me. Please show up to the call. If you do book the call, it will be me, real person on the other side of the Zoom call waiting for you. So I would appreciate it if you don't stand me up. I don't know how else to say that. But other than that, I'm really excited to talk to some of you about potentially working together, see if we might be a good fit, if we might work well together. And other than that, I have a Patreon. So it's patreon.com/catonoise. My patrons get access to additional content. We have a book club that we're doing on our Discord server that we're all hanging out on. We got some early release videos, stuff like that. And you can join for as little as $1 a month. So please check that out if you feel so inclined. The book club has been so much fun. That's like my favorite part of it. And other than that, I come out with new videos every Wednesday. And thank you so much for hanging out. Okay. So this is a bit of an experiment because this is the first time that I'm recording, not with my GoPro, but with my webcam, which is why it's like a few inches lower than the other videos that I have on my channel. So it might look a little bit different. This is my first time trying that. So I record my screen capture in OBS. You can see it right here. And right now I have made a version where it's twice as wide, and I have my video capture and my screen capture all in one thing. And I'm trying it out. And I think I figured out some issues and resolved them. So hopefully it's a high quality video, but let me know what you think. And thank you so much to the person that suggested I do that in the comments on a previous video. I had this webcam. I use it for Zoom calls, but I was using a GoPro before because I understood how to set it up, to be honest. And the problem with the GoPro is it's like years, really, it's kind of old. It's like years and years old. And years and years old, that's a weird way to say that. But it's an old GoPro. And so what it's doing is after like 15 or 20 minutes of recording, it heats up and then it times out and it just shuts down. And it doesn't tell you, it doesn't beep, it doesn't do anything. It just shuts down and it's hot. And then you have to wait for it to cool down. So I would often put it like between the vents on the AC or in the fridge and let it cool down and then bring it back out if I needed to record more. Or what has been more common lately is I just try to do like a quick recording and finish it before the GoPro times out, which is kind of a fun exercise, but I'd rather not have to do that. And I'd rather not have to deal with it timing out and getting too hot if I don't have to. So this is me trying this. I did notice I recorded this whole video, and then at the very end, my video, like the image of me on the OBS screen just froze towards like the 19-minute mark or something. So if you have any idea why that happened, let me know. I would love to get this system working because it also means I don't have to load in a GoPro. I don't have to like move as much stuff just to get started with recording. So if you have any idea why my OBS might be freezing my video screen after a short period of time, let me know. That's my story. Okay, I hope you're doing well. Talk to you later. Bye.